All right, so today we're taking a closer look at the 1More Aero. So like I told you guys in the first look video, the price on these is 110 bucks. And right now they do still have the $20 off coupon that you can take advantage of, which knocks these down to about 89 bucks. So I will put the links down in the description. So after you finish watching the video, if you're interested, feel free to use those links. So we're going to take a closer look at these, and also towards the end of the video, we're going to talk about how they stack up to the 1More Evo. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So when it comes to the case, as you can see, very pocketable design, very slim. You have your 1More branding right there on the lid. And then down towards the bottom, you have your LED indicator as well as your Type-C charging port. Over on the back is where you have your Bluetooth pairing button. Now, the case does support wireless charging, so for those of you that find that to be a must-have feature, these do have you covered. So as far as the earbuds, very similar design to the comfobuds Pro with that stem style, and these are using touch controls, and they give you access to a double tap as well as a triple tap, both of which are customizable within the 1More app, and you can customize them independent of each other. So for example, for the left earbud, the double tap can be set to volume control. And then on the right earbud, the double tap could be set to play and pause. So you can get creative with your customization as far as the touch controls and kind of pick and choose which controls are an absolute must have and kind of customize them accordingly within the app. Now, I do wish that they added a single tap feature as well. That way you would have an extra set of controls that you could customize, and you wouldn't really have to pick and choose which controls you want. You would pretty much have access to everything all at once. Now, these are also using in-ear detection. So an easy way to play and pause your music is to simply remove them from your ear. So these are running Bluetooth 5.2. As far as codecs, they support SBC and AAC, and these also have multi-point connection. So yes, you can connect to two devices at the exact same time. So if you want to connect to your smartphone and your laptop, smartphone and your tablet, or two smartphones at the exact same time, these do have you covered. So it's nice to see that 1More is keeping up with the field, because we've seen a lot of companies adding multi-point to their arsenal as of this year. Now, when it comes to battery life, we're looking at roughly 7 hours on a single charge and a total of about 28 once you factor in the case. And that's going to be with active noise cancellation turned off at around 50% volume. With active noise cancellation turned on, those numbers are going to drop to about 5 hours on a single charge and around 20 with the case. Now, you do have fast charging with these, so just 15 minutes will give you around 3 additional hours of playback. And then we also have an IPX5 water resistant rating. So these are going to be safe for the gym, safe for the outdoors. If they happen to get wet, they're going to hold up just fine. Just make sure you don't completely submerge them in water. So as far as the fit, these are definitely very comfortable for me personally, and they are using the oval shaped ear tips, which does help in terms of keeping the pressure in the ear to a minimum. Now, as far as security, they probably wouldn't be my first choice as far as like hitting the gym or working out, but they do stay in place a little bit better, at least for me, compared to the 1More Evo. So that's something to keep in mind. But for me, the big takeaway is that these are extremely comfortable. So let's go ahead and talk sound quality. So these have a feature that I found to be very interesting, which is called the smart loudness feature. So basically, this is almost adaptive EQ in a way. And basically what it's trying to do is give you the same type of dynamic sound, no matter the volume level that you're using. So obviously, if you've ever owned a pair of earbuds, the sound is a little bit different, when you're listening at say 20% volume versus 70% volume. The bass is obviously not going to be as strong, not as punchy, not as aggressive, but this smart loudness feature is trying to basically preserve that sound and give it to you no matter the volume level. And it actually works really, really well. It's most noticeable when you have it turned on and you're listening at lower volumes. You can definitely hear that punchy bass, The mids and highs are very pronounced, very clear. And it's just a very dynamic sound, even at the lower volumes. And what I like is that it's adjustable as well. So if you don't want it to be as aggressive, as sensitive, you can scale it back within the app. So it's definitely a very unique feature. And the way that they have it laid out inside of the app is really like nothing I've ever seen before. So you also have access to custom EQ controls. So you have a few different presets to choose from, as well as the option to create your own. And honestly, I really just been using the default preset. I think it sounds great, very dynamic, plenty of bass, nice clean treble. But you know, if you want, you can experiment with the different presets and the different settings to try and get something that suits your personal needs. Now, another big ticket item is going to be the spatial audio. So pretty much what this does is take your music from sounding more so focused from front to back to sounding very wide and open. And it also does have head tracking as well. So as you turn your head from the right to the left, you can hear the music tracking with you. And this does have some of the better performance as far as spatial audio, at least in my opinion, because it's very subtle. I've tried other earbuds that have spatial audio, and it's like, you know, you test it out and it's like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but I would honestly never use this. You know, the spatial audio is a little bit too aggressive. And as you turn from left to right, it's to the point that it's almost distracting. So it's like, yeah, it's cool, but again, I would never really use it. With the 1More Aero, it's subtle. So as you move your head from the left to the right, you can hear it tracking with you, but it's not so strong that it takes away from the experience of your music. So let's go ahead and talk active noise cancellation. Within the app, you do have a few different options. You have the strong setting, you have the mild setting, you have the adaptive setting, and you also have wind noise reduction. So obviously strong and mild, those are very self-explanatory. The adaptive is basically going to adjust your noise cancellation based on the amount of ambient noise taking place around you. And then the wind noise reduction feature, that's going to help eliminate that annoying sound that you get if you're outdoors and it's very windy and you have the wind passing over the microphones of the earbuds. As far as the overall effectiveness of the ANC, is very good. I would say probably around 75 to 80% of your ambient sounds are being canceled out by the 1More Aero. And at this price point, especially if you grab these for 89 bucks, you're not really going to find anything that's going to give you better ANC for the money. So as far as active noise cancellation, these are very, very solid. Transparency mode, same thing, definitely works. It could be a touch stronger, but overall, no complaints. You can definitely use it to hold a conversation or, you know, hear an important announcement or something like that. And it sounds very natural at the same time. So very minimal white noise. So let's go ahead and talk about how these stack up to the 1More Evo. Now, I'm not going to focus on, you know, the battery life and all of those small little details because they're honestly very similar. I would say the main differences come with the sound quality because the 1More Evo do have a dual driver setup. So just based off of that alone, they're going to have a slight advantage. They also have the LDAC compatibility. So when it comes to overall audio resolution, again, they have a slight advantage there as well. Now, one thing you will notice is that within the 1More app, with the 1More Evo, you have the custom EQ and the EQ presets, but then you also have access to the Sound ID feature, which comes up with a custom EQ profile just for you based on a hearing test that it takes you through. So with the 1More Aero, that's something that you don't have. And then aside from that, I would also say that the 1More Evo are just a tad bit louder at max volume. Now, when it comes to active noise cancellation, both of these very, very effective, especially for the price, but I would give the slight advantage to the 1More Evo. I feel like they just have an extra layer. Now with the transparency mode, you do have two different settings within the app for the 1More Evo. You have the voice enhancement, and then you have the regular pass-through mode. With the 1More Aero, it's just one setting. So with the Evo, you have a little bit more flexibility with that transparency mode. All right, so right now what you guys are listening to is a microphone test of the 1More Aero. So this should give you an idea as to how you would sound if you take a phone call in a quiet environment. Now let's see how they sound once we add some background noise. All right, so now we got some crowd noise being played in the background. So this should give you a rough idea as to how you would sound if you take a phone call in a more noisy environment. So overall, I think these are an excellent option, especially if you're looking for something with spatial audio. They also have that smart loudness feature, which I like a lot. They've got wireless charging, solid battery life, IPX5 water resistant rating. So at this price point, I think these are very attractive, especially if you take advantage of that $20 off coupon. So again, if you're interested, make sure you check out the links down in the description. And that's pretty much going to cover it for today's video. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.